Hello, HBA. It's May, which means it's Haitian Heritage Month. So all month long, we will celebrate our history, culture, traditions, music, and so much more. I thought it would be special to show you a movie. Let's head over to the auditorium. What's the movie about? Well, Haiti, being the first Black republic, is definitely something all Black people should celebrate. But Haitian Heritage Month would be incomplete if we did not explore our history prior to slavery. Black people have the oldest and greatest history, spanning over 200,000 years of greatness. By retracing our lineage, we will be able to clearly see how and why the Haitian Revolution happened. Let's watch the story of home. Thousands and thousands of years ago, there once was a beautiful paradise called Al-Kebulan, a land full of plants and animals of every type and kind, a place bountiful in grasslands and rivers and marvelous deserts, a land with many climates and diverse vegetation, organic, overflowing, abundant, lush, nature in all its wonder. Life was everywhere, our sacred motherland. The people of Al-Kebulan, our ancient ancestors, were connected to the earth and universe. They observed closely the sun, moon, and all the stars in our galaxy. They studied and used many different herbs and plants to heal one another. They analyzed the movements of animals to defend and fight, and created their own unique way of life. They inhabited the entire continent using waterways to explore. They formed many different nations all over the ancient world, building remarkable cities and establishing civilizations that were sophisticated, rich in culture, and prosperous. Wow, Mom, I wonder what our ancient ancestors were like. Yeah, sweetie. Shh, let's keep watching. Our ancient ancestors were geniuses, highly intelligent beings. They developed systems and sciences for everything. Through their connection with the energy of the earth and cosmos, our ancient ancestors created mathematics and astrology, which led to many inventions such as the wheel, clocks, calendars, and maps that many Europeans used to find the Americas. Our people loved to learn and share. They would pass on information through stories, songs, and dances. They also had several written languages, such as Insibidi, Vey, Old Nubian, Giaz, and hieroglyphics. Our ancestors, who the Romans called the Moors, shared their knowledge with the world. They built vast libraries and schools and universities all across Europe. They even built hundreds of castles that are still standing today. Our ancient ancestors were so many things, like warriors and herbalists. They were builders and leaders. They were pharaohs, queens and kings, emperors and chiefs, ruling large cities. And they were also hunters and gatherers, living in small villages. And here is how we know. They left evidence of their intelligence all around the world. people are still baffled on how they built these advanced structures and seldom want to acknowledge it. But our faces are etched in stone. We were here first. I wonder, how did they make it to Haiti? Around 4,000 years ago, the Arawak people, descendants of Alkebulan in the Americas, migrated from the northern area of South America into the Caribbean islands. Some Arawakans settled on the second largest island in the West Indies. We have come to know those natives as the Taino. The Taino people had three names for the land of many mountains: Quisqueya, Boyo, and what is commonly used today, Ayiti. The Taino people were good people. The island was divided into 5 main territories. Each area had leaders called caciques and caciques. They shared the same belief as our ancient ancestors, which was a deep connection to the earth and its life-giving plants for food, and a love for the stars. The Taino were resourceful and inventive. They lived off the land in huts and believed all of the earth's resources belonged to everyone. They traded and shared knowledge with many tribes in the area, including West Africans, who were accustomed to traveling back and forth to the Americas. The good people lived for thousands of years in peace. Life was good. Until the day everything changed. About 500 years ago, Taino people had a different kind of visitor to their island. Using maps from West Africans that frequently traveled to the Americas, Christopher Columbus shipwrecked on the northern part of the island of Ayiti. The peace-loving people of Ayiti gained an unknown enemy. They would soon figure out that the European Christian did not come in peace, but came looking for land and gold. The infamous navigator left and returned with missionaries and conquistadors. This time, their goal was very clear. They believed the people were savages and that they were to be their masters. Unfortunately, the native people of the island were forced into slavery, and many died from either the horrible treatment or the diseases the Europeans brought with them, or were sadly sentenced to death if they did not convert to Catholicism. In 1503, the first Africans were forcefully brought to work the European plantations. So for the next 300 years, Africans were brought as slaves to work the land. The transatlantic slave trade brought many to the island and all across the Caribbean and Americas. Europeans made a lot of money at the expense of our ancestors' lives. That's not fair. Why did they do that to our people? But our ancestors were strong people in mind and spirit, and although many of them lost their lives in the struggle for freedom, it was their understanding of the land and stars and fearless leaders that ultimately helped them to overcome and be victorious. On January 1st, 1804, Haiti gained its independence to become the first Black republic in the Americas. Although there may be sad parts in our history, what I want you to know deeply and truly and never forget: we, Alkebulan, Ethiopians, Olmec, Arawak, Mayans, Aztec, and so many more indigenous people were always first. And for our existence on this planet, we spent centuries free to live as we choose. Our origin story does not begin with Christopher Columbus and colonization by European Christians. But for hundreds and thousands of years, our people, Black people, were pioneers in every field known to man. It is sad that today's schools and history books only focus on a few Black heroes like Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King Jr., and Barack Obama. But from the beginning of time, people of color, melanoid people, were a great people. We are remarkable, gifted, and talented. We help and serve. We heal and uplift. We create and invent. We play and enjoy life. We have soul. We were first.
Andu kembe tout